Alrighty, Dr. EI is in the house. My gravity hammer is coming down on your knee, and we're going to prescribe you some Rogaine for that tushy. Today we have a question from a young gentlelady who asks, why is it that young men are not pursuing women for relationships or even dating, and they're just sticking with video games? And this seems to be something of a trend. I've noticed if you go out to like a popular nightlife area with young people, like around a city, you'll find that there's a lot of women, like good-looking women, walking around in groups and not many men. You're like, are the dudes gay? Are they not living around here? Or maybe it's just that they're not interested. And I can kind of see that. I speak from the standpoint of someone that I approach women on a fairly consistent basis, probably part of a relatively small minority of men who do so. And of course, you're going to have hits or misses. Some of these dudes probably say, hey, if I'm not of the gifted genetic phenotype, I'm going to have to put a lot of work into my looks, like how I dress up, my social skills, and of course run the risk of rejection because you're not going to have a perfect record at all times. Some dudes say, is that really worthwhile? Of course, there's the financial cost. You know, some women will split the bill, others won't. There's then the emotional cost. If you're in a relationship especially, the women, no matter what their personality is, usually, let's say, if not daily, then several times a week, they want to do the whole emotional splurge thing where they have to talk about their problems. You got to sit there and listen, whether it's on the phone or in person, for like an hour and a half or more as they unwind. And you're like, hey, let's fast forward, solve the problem, make some babies. No, 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 no. I want to feel like you're listening to me. And if you don't, they might see it as scornful. So there's that whole issue. It's an opportunity cost of time. And then, of course, and I know it's easy to exaggerate that. Some of these red pill guys live in a self-enforcing reality where it's like, if I so much as glance at a woman, she's going to accuse me of a violent flanking maneuver without Vaseline. Maybe a bit over the top, but of course there's a risk. In the wake of the pound me too and I'm in her movements, you have to be careful about who you're talking to because they can flip and like, I've regret about having sex, now I'm going to accuse you of something. You know, oh, it was all going fine, then she decided that she read some, you know, I don't know, OK Cupid or what's the other one, Exo Jane blog, and now she's going all sports bra tactical on you. You have to be aware of this. If you don't have millions of dollars for legal defense like a celebrity, you can get wiped out. You can go to jail. So you have to kind of weigh, is it worthwhile? Comparatively, if you're into video games, you buy maybe 5 new games a year at $60, it's $300. You buy a new controller replacement every year, and let's say a subscription to whichever service you use for gaming. Maybe maxing it out, you might get to $500. Well, I mean, it's not the cheapest, but it's not that expensive compared to being in a relationship and having to go through all those bills and, of course, the opportunity cost. So I can see why men do it. I don't think it's the best thing. Like when I was younger, I started at Windows 95, played like AoE 2, the original Jedi Knight, got a better computer, did some more things with Xbox, Knights of the Old Republic, Battlefront, Halo, Republic Commando. I mean, it's a lot of fun, although you get to a certain point where it's like a lot of these games just feel redundant. Especially, I just finished Far Cry 5, and I loved Far Cry 4. Far Cry 5 seemed incomplete. Like, the graphics were great, the soundtrack was amazing, but the gameplay itself was just, the AI was atrocious. The campaign, every mission was basically a repeat of the last mission. It seemed like they had no interest in actually making a compelling story. And you say, is it worth playing through this entire thing? A lot of guys will just pick up games and keep playing what's essentially the same game just because it's the new hot item on the market. So I will say that. Don't be like, I used to have a housemate on Saturday, 8 hours straight playing like a button mashing hack and slash game. I think you can do a little bit better than that. You don't have to necessarily pursue women, but you can, I don't know, go to a national park, ride your bicycle, train physically for something, or a martial art, or learn a trade, or read or write. It doesn't have to be, I'm just going to play someone else's game all the time, because it kind of becomes it's fun at a certain point, but then also becomes like, what are you're sinking all this energy into what? Just playing a game someone else created. And as for women who are concerned about this, honestly, you might have to swallow your pride, pick up a controller. Be less like Princess Peach, more like Bayonetta. It might help you. It's not a perfect system. People are going to keep asking questions as it goes forward, but I think that for a lot of these guys, it's just a cost-benefit analysis. Is it worth engaging with women for relationships or dating when you consider all the potential risks and costs involved, or should you just stick with video games, particularly now that pornography is widely available? It's not like, oh my god, without a woman, you're hopeless. So, yeah, that's just how it is.